Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining the first episode of Wednesday Wellness Calls. Every Wednesday at 8 o'clock Central European Time, we have a call that I call the Science and the Products. But starting today and 3 Wednesdays, this included, we are going to do a Wednesday Wellness Call. My name is Mariel Kokkonen. I am a Canaway brand ambassador, and I am so happy and grateful that you are here today, because these 3 calls, this series, might just change the way you think about recovery, and more importantly, how you think about your own well-being. This first episode is going to focus on exploring why we need to support recovery. Why don't we bounce back like we used to? Why isn't vacation always enough? The topic today is circulating around vacation time, because this is the time when we are supposed to be relaxing. But vacation isn't always enough. What is really happening inside the body when we are under stress? And what role does the endocannabinoid system play in all of this? This isn't just a theory night. This is an invitation for all of us to pause and ask ourselves, are we truly recovering or just changing scenery? Today, we will not talk about specific products. We are not going to focus on specific research articles. We will focus on understanding why recovery matters right now and tomorrow, and how our body is biologically designed to recover, if only we give it the right support. Think about your last vacation. Have you ever gone away only to feel even more exhausted in the first few days? Maybe you found yourself still thinking about work, about unfinished emails, about things that you wanted to do, and you remember, oh, I should have done this and I should have done that. Maybe your sleep was restless and you felt irritable, even though you were supposed to be enjoying yourself and relaxing. Or maybe you tried to do it all, see it all, and make the most of every moment, just so nothing would be missed. Here's the truth. A change in location doesn't automatically mean your body and mind are recovering. We have become so used to performing, even when it comes to rest. We have expectations about what a good vacation looks like, but we forget to ask ourselves, what does true recovery feel like? And am I experiencing it? Recovery doesn't happen just because your calendar says off. Your body needs clear biological signals that say it is safe to slow down now. You're allowed to rest. And many of us, consciously or unconsciously, are wondering, is recovery even possible anymore in today's world? And if by some miracle we achieve a feeling of recovery, can it be sustainable? The good news is, it is possible, but only if we approach it the right way. Recovery is not something that happens if there is time. It is something your body actively builds, if it's given the right conditions. And perhaps most importantly, recovery can be sustainable. It's not just temporary relief or one good night of sleep. It's a full body state where your nervous system, immune system, and mind are all in balance. But we can't get there by resting on the surface. We need knowledge, understanding, and support. So today we're going to talk about what stress actually does inside your body. And next week, we are going to focus on how we can support our recovery naturally and safely. What is it that actually causes stress? Or what keeps us from recovering? Most of us think stress is a busy schedule or too much work. But it's far more complex, and it's constant. We live in a world where being calm is no longer the norm, it's the exception. And stress comes from so many directions. There's performance pressure, We are expected to do well at work, take care of our families, stay healthy, be social, stay positive and energetic, all of this at the same time. We are being asked to succeed across multiple life areas, constantly. Our brain is flooded with notifications, messages, news, alerts all day, every day. It's information overload. And our body doesn't know if a notification is dangerous or not. It reacts to all of them. We don't sleep well. Our rhythm is disrupted. There's screen time late night, irregular sleep, constant stimulation throw off our inner clock. And when sleep suffers, everything else will follow. Emotions, immunity, and energy. Even though we're more digitally connected than ever, many people feel lonely, left out, or not enough. Social media can make us feel like everyone else is thriving while we are just barely holding on. And then there's global stressors. Financial pressure, world events, climate concerns, health worries. Stress today doesn't come from one place. It is constant, it's layered, and it is often invisible. And to this, our body reacts. It tries to protect you and me by raising alertness, activating your nervous system, and producing stress hormones. But if it never gets the signal to calm down, it never ever returns to balance. This ongoing state is actually called chronic stress. It may not look hectic on the outside, not even a little bit busy, but it wears down every system inside your body. And that's exactly why it is so very important to talk about recovery. Now, if we understand what is weighing us down, where does stress come from? I think we should also focus on what does it do? How does it affect? How does it show up in the body and in the mind? We often think of stress as just mental, worry, pressure, or too much to do. But stress doesn't stay in your head. It lives in your entire body. So let's start with the brain. When we are stressed, our body is producing hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, and these make us more alert. But they also cause fragmented thinking, weaker memory, mood swings, trouble focusing. I'm sure we've all felt it. Our thoughts are jumping all over the place, then even small things can push us over the edge. And when we don't know whether we're angry, exhausted, or just not feeling anything. That is our nervous system being completely overloaded. How about your gut? Stress slows digestion, irritates the gut lining, and can lead to bloating, diarrhea, constipation, pain, cramping, food sensitivities. Most people don't connect gut issues with stress at all, but the body does. The brain and gut are constantly talking to each other. Actually, almost 90% of neurotransmitters like serotonin is produced in the gut. So, when your gut is overwhelmed, your mood will suffer too. How about your muscles? If you are in constant fight or flight mode, that'll lead to tension in our shoulders, neck, jaw, lower back. Eventually, this becomes chronic pain, fatigue, and headaches. Even our skin reacts to stress, breakouts, itchiness, dryness, redness, and of course, it always seems to show up right before a vacation or a big event. But maybe the biggest impact is emotional. Stress will make us irritable, overwhelmed, overly sensitive, or just completely numb, lonely, even when we're not alone. And often, we no longer recognize ourselves. We think thoughts like, oh, I used to love this so much, and now everything feels heavy. That doesn't mean that you are weak. It means your body is sending a real biological signal. I need to recover. Give me time to recover. But if your body never gets to recover, it gets stuck in a state of high alert. The nervous system goes into overdrive, immune system weakens, and the body forgets how to tell what's dangerous and what isn't. You are awake, but you are not alive to your own life. So the real question is, what happens when we break this cycle and give the body what it needs to truly recover? Cortisol is a stress hormone, and it is playing a major role in stress. It's not the enemy. In fact, cortisol is essential. It helps us respond to short-term threats and survive danger. Imagine this. You're a caveman and you're facing a wild animal, a beast. Your body instantly produces cortisol and adrenaline. Your heart is racing, your breathing quickens, blood pressure spikes. That's the flight or fight response. But once the threat is gone, a caveman's body returns to normal. Cortisol levels drop, heart calms down, and we start recovering. The problem today is that our stressors aren't short term. We are not facing a lion or a beast. We are facing dozens of small threats every single day. An email from the office, a phone call from the boss, a sick child, financial worries, indecisive client, traffic, news headlines, strange symptoms in our own body we can't explain. See, our body doesn't know if it's a real threat or not. It just reacts. And when it reacts, it releases cortisol again and again and again and again. Our body has forgotten how to return to rest. And this is a vicious cycle. First, we face a stressor, cortisol rises, sleep suffers, mood drops, digestion is off, immunity weakens, we feel worse, there's more anxiety, more stress, and repeat. And true recovery never happens if our body has adapted to stress as the new normal. The nervous system no longer knows when it's safe to relax. It needs a permission. It's very often that we feel, I'm not stressed, I'm just tired. Or I don't think I recover well, not even over the weekend. And I don't think a vacation is enough for me to recover. This does not mean something is wrong with you. It means your body is not getting the signal that it's safe to let go. And this leads to a very big question. How do we send that signal? How can we support the body biologically, not just mentally, to return to balance? We do have a system in the body that influences our well-being every single day. This is a built-in recovery system. It's working in the background all the time. It regulates sleep, mood, inflammation, appetite, pain, immune response, hormones, and yes, the intensity and duration of our stress response. This system is called the endocannabinoid system, or ECS. It was only discovered in the 1990s, so it's a very, very young system when we think about how much we know of our body's functions. In fact, there's a lot of scientists that call it the master regulatory system in the body. It works like an internal thermostat. It is constantly adjusting to bring us back into balance when things go too far in any direction. If we are overstimulated, our nervous system is spinning. We are restless. ECS will detect that and it will start producing the body's own cannabinoids. They are called endocannabinoids. And they connect to your nerve cells, to your gut, immune system, even skin cells. And they send a message, calm down, you are safe. Endocannabinoid system does not do just one thing. It works everywhere in the body, but only when balance is disturbed. So what does this mean for recovery? If endocannabinoid system is functioning well, our nervous system calms down, our mood stabilizes, inflammation goes down, sleep deepens, digestion improves, and we can feel rested in our whole body. It's not because you're forcing your mind to think calming thoughts. It's because your body gets a signal. You are safe, you can recover. But as we'll very soon see, this system can get depleted. It can become overused, underfunctioning when stress continues too long. And when that happens, recovery doesn't just slow down. It actually may stop altogether. Now, we should think about our body and acknowledge the fact that there is a system designed to restore balance. And when we do that, it's very important that we remember what are the key parts of this system. There are receptors called CB1 and CB2. They are found all throughout the body and they are like the lock in this picture. CB1 receptors are connected to brain, central nervous system. They affect sleep, memory, mood, and pain. CB2 receptors are mostly in immune cells, in the gut, and tissues involved in inflammation and immune response. Then there are messengers. They are the endocannabinoids. They are compounds our body is naturally producing. So there's a little factory inside me and inside you. These molecules work like the keys in this picture. They fit into the CB1 and CB2 receptor locks. Once they connect, they tell your body things like, that was not dangerous, you can calm down. You can reduce the inflammation now. It's okay to sleep now. Don't overreact. But here's the point. Endocannabinoid system is delicate. And chronic stress, poor sleep, nutrient deficiencies, processed food, high sugar intake and inflammation, all of these can impair how the system works. So you can imagine that the endocannabinoid system is trying to turn off the fire alarm. But someone take the switch down. No matter how hard it tries, it can't calm the system anymore. This condition is now being studied under the name of endocannabinoid deficiency, and it's being linked to many stubborn, hard-to-treat health challenges. So, if the endocannabinoid system is not functioning properly, then the things we are thinking and saying and feeling are like, nothing seems to help. I'm always tired. I'm always so angry or on the edge. I don't even remember what it feels like to feel good. This is not just a feeling. It is, in fact, a neurochemical imbalance. But we can influence it. Endocannabinoid system can be supported and strengthened. And if we do that, there are tools that will help us to become the best partner for our own body and support recovery and then balance. But it is very important, especially when we are discussing recovery, which means that we are discussing giving time and peace and a safe space for ourselves. It is important to remember that lack of recovery is not just about willpower. It is also about a missing biological capacity. In recent years, researchers have started talking about the clinical endocannabinoid deficiency. This means our body either does not produce enough of its own cannabinoids, or the receptors, so the locks, no longer respond to the keys. When this happens, the system that's supposed to restore our internal balance simply cannot do its job. It doesn't shut down completely, but it becomes weak and inefficient. It tries, but it's not enough. So if this recovery system is not working, our body will start collecting symptoms. Not always full-blown illnesses, but layers of imbalance that many people have accepted as just normal. Things like recurring headaches or migraines, chronic pain without a clear cause, anxiety, panic attacks, IBS or digestive issues, insomnia, night waking, muscle tension, restlessness, mood swings, or emotional numbness. And this isn't just random. When Dr. Ethan Russo started the research on clinical endocannabinoid deficiency, he linked ECS dysfunction to disorders like migraine, fibromyalgia, and IBS. These are all conditions that often lack a clear cause, and even more importantly, none of them respond well to conventional medication. So let's stop here for a second. What if your symptoms are the result of a recovery system that is no longer activating? What if your nervous system is stuck on high alert and your endocannabinoid system is waving a white flag? Well, it's not hopeless. Quite the opposite. This is a wake-up call. Your body is not broken. It's just exhausted from constantly regulating. And when we begin to support the endocannabinoid system in the right ways, true recovery can start to happen again. It's not instant, not an overnight solution, but it is absolutely possible. And it can change the entire foundation of your quality of life. So, what would it feel like to be rested, truly rested, and in balance? Not just physically, but fully. What does it feel like to wake up and not just get out of bed, but to feel in your body, I've got energy to face today? What does it feel like when your mind isn't spinning, but thoughts come and go peacefully, when you can focus, breathe deeply, and even laugh without forcing it? Recovery feels like clarity, like being responsive instead of reactive, like being present instead of just getting through the day. And it shows up in your body too. You get to experience deep, uninterrupted sleep, digestive ease, no bloating, no pain, no cramps, clearer skin, steadier breathing, more upright posture, and a calm heart, and a nervous system that doesn't jump at every ping or alert. And maybe most importantly, recovery feels like coming back to yourself. You don't need the perfect diet. You don't need the perfect vacation. What you need is a functioning connection to the internal systems that regulate you from the inside out. And this state of balance, it's not rare. That's actually your biological birthright. Many of us need outside support to get there because the effects of stress can run deep. But once recovery starts to happen, our entire life begins to look and feel so different. I think I have just a few things that I hope that you take with you from today. I understand that right now you might be thinking that all sounds important. And yes, I can relate to most of what I've heard today. But what can I actually do? Here's the most important thing I want you to remember. Your body wants to recover. It's not working against you. It's not broken. It just needs support, not struggle. And the truth is, supporting recovery doesn't always require a huge lifestyle overhaul or a retreat in the mountains. Often, it starts with small choices. The little moments that tell your body it is safe to slow down. Today, it might look like a short walk outside without your phone, or 3 minutes of silence before checking your email, or drinking a glass of water slowly and really feeling it, breathing gently, letting your stomach relax. Or maybe it means for you that you give yourself a permission to feel tired without judging yourself for it. That may be the most important part of recovery. Compassion for your body and your mind. And yes, there are natural ways to biologically support your body. Plant compounds, nutrients, the link between food and the nervous system. We'll go deeper into all of these next week. But for now, you can already send your body a signal. I hear you. You can rest. This very tiny shift might just be your first step toward deeper balance. And that step is so very valuable. Now, at the end of the day, if you only remember one thing from tonight, let it be this. Recovery is not a luxury. It is not self-indulgent. It's not something you earn once you've done everything else. Recovery is a basic biological need, just like breathing, sleeping, or eating. And yet, so many of us live as if recovery is optional, as if we can push through, override our signals, ignore what we feel, and still be okay. In the beginning, your body will whisper. It is very gently going to try and get your attention to tell you I'm not well. In the end, if you continuously keep on pushing, it will be screaming. And that will force you to start working towards recovery. Your body will go against you. We all understand stress is part of life. There will always be moments where we stretch ourselves. But if stress becomes a permanent way of living, your body will go against you. Your body was built to recover. And it is very important that we support this system intentionally. We start telling ourselves a new story. And that story has a very, very powerful tagline. Life is not just about survival. Life is about thriving. Now, when we move forward towards next week, I will introduce you to 3 specific products. They were designed for this exact purpose. They are packed with research. They help calm the nervous system, they regulate stress, and they support recovery without synthetic stimulants or sleeping pills. We will learn how they work, how they interact with the body, and how to use them to support recovery. But until next week, I have a small homework for all of us, not just for you, me too. I want you to ask yourself, what do I truly recover from? And how do I know when I'm actually recovering? Even just asking these questions is a beginning, because it will tell your body, I am listening now. And that's where the change begins. Thank you for being here today. I can't wait to see you next week when we go deeper and more practical. And before that, drink a glass of wine, take a walk, breathe slowly, listen to the birds, and give yourself a permission to recover.